All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaroneschenburg here, Honest Aim, bringing you some honest astrology about Saturn moving into Aquarius. All right, this is big. It's going to move in on the 21st, 22nd of March, depending on where you're at in the world. Check it out. It's going to move in right at midnight on Eastern Standard Time on the 22nd, 0 degrees. Okay. And it's going to teeter-totter over this 0 degrees. It's going to move out of here in June and then come back again in December. Okay. And Mars is going to conjunct Saturn here at the beginning. Then Jupiter is going to conjunct Saturn here come December. All right. And right now, we're having Saturn square Uranus. Okay. So Saturn in old astrology used to rule, Saturn rules Capricorn. Okay. It used to rule Capricorn and Aquarius. All right. And then the discovery of Uranus. Okay. This felt more fitting. And now rules and is associated with the sign of Aquarius. Okay. So Saturn is about law and order and structure, ST word, structure. Okay. Government, big business. It is karma. What goes up must come down. Okay. The laws of reality. Right. Uranus is the breakthrough of reality. Okay. It's beyond. It is the great awakener. It is the great shake. It is the eureka moment, the aha, the lightning striking, the light bulb turning on. Okay. And it's the use of technology. It's the digital age of technology. So in the physical world, in reality, which is ruled by Saturn, my individuality ruled by Saturn, Capricorn, right? I am one. I am whole. You cannot breathe for me. You cannot beat my heart for me. You can't go to the gym and work out for me. You can't, make me go to yoga or sit down and meditate or paint a picture or sit down and do an astrology video, right? This is my individual will that does these things. And it's just me that has to say yes to doing those things. Where Aquarius is about the community, okay? Aquarius is about going to that yoga class or going to the gym and everybody being there together, going to that class, that workshop, okay? And other people of like-minded interests are also within that space learning and absorbing or exercising or doing those like-minded activities, right? So Saturn, again, is structure. The only way to turn a piece of coal into diamond is amount of pressure, a strong amount of pressure, okay? So we've been putting a lot of pressure on ourselves since 2017 here until 2020. It was December 2017 when Saturn moved in. Okay, before that it was in Sagittarius, which is IC. Then Saturn moving into Capricorn is I use. All right, so I'm using my abilities, I'm using my gifts, I'm using my patience, I'm using my tools to create the life I'm trying to create. And now Saturn is moving into a place of I know, right? I know. Think about it. We have everything is at our fingertips, okay? Everything through the use of technology right now. You can pull out your phone and you can hear music from the other side of the world, which was not once possible a very short amount of time ago. You can learn about people in the North Pole or shamans down in Peru. You can learn about all kinds of things. It literally a couple keyword searches, and then you're right there and you have that information. Okay, through the use of technology, we're moving into a place of I know, where at one point you had to travel. You had to be that traveling person, that Sagittarian centaur. You physically had to get up and go to that place to learn this information. Travel to India to learn about yoga, travel to wherever. You get it. Okay, and now all of that information is readily available. Okay. So we're moving into this digital technological age, the technological revolution. Now in December of 2012, December 21st, 2012, the end of that Mayan calendar was the beginning of the age of Aquarius. Now we've known about the age of Taurus, okay, which is the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Sumerians, okay. This is I have, right? And I have all this gold on me. I have these giant, Taurus is about my earth, my structures, my home, not home, that's Cancer, but I mean, things, right? So there's these giant temples and pyramids and all of these things and gold everywhere, right? So this is the first age that we are aware of. Then we move to the age of Aries, okay? Religion changed. dealing more with humanity, dealing with we're losing parts of self, the lost knowledge. Then from past 2,000 years, we've been in the age of Pisces, which is I know. So we've gone from I have to I am to I to I believe. Excuse me. Pisces is I believe. Okay, and now we're in the place of I know. Okay, so the precession of the equinox moves backward in the zodiac, just like the north and south node. So look that up, check it out, precession of the equinox, okay? So we are in the age of I know through the use of digital technology. It is once easy, what is wedding? What is Wednesday? I don't know, last year I was like, what in the world is, what is that day? What is that? Doesn't even make any sense. Wedden is Old Germanic for Odin, okay? So Wednesday is Odin's day. Sunday is the day we pay homage to the sun. Monday is the moon. Tuesday is Tyr, which is Odin's son, the god of war, Mars. Okay, and Odin's day is Wednesday. Okay, which is Mercury, information. Then Thursday is Thor's day. Okay, Friday is Freya, Frigg, Odin's wife. And then Saturn day, Saturday. Okay, so anyway, with simple keyword searches and technology, we're able to find this information, which was once much more difficult. You want to learn Greek? There you go. You want to learn Lithuanian or whatever. You can learn anything you want right now. We're using technology to advance ourselves to a place of I know. And as well, we're advancing humanity. Okay, so in the physical world, Saturn, Capricorn, in the physical world, I can see from red to violet. All right, that is it. Through technology, through Aquarian breakthrough technology, we have ultraviolet. We can see above violet. We have infrared. We can see below the color spectrum of red. Okay, we can see what's not there to our plain physical eye with the use of technology. Okay, so Saturn moving into Aquarius, into this digital age, is helping us solidify technology. It's helping us get a greater grip that we certainly are in the age of Aquarius. Okay, then Pluto's going to join in 2024 and really, make some big waves. Okay, so one of the interesting things, because Saturn in Capricorn, Saturn in general, is about structure, it is about order, it is about law, it is about government. We can look here and say, well, one, we can look here and see this. Here's our emotions. I feel. This is this, ruled by the moon. I feel. This is the sun. I will. Okay? We're at an opposite. This is not about your emotions. This is about law, order, government, structure. Okay, this is not about your will, your play. This is not about being the star of the show. This is about being the director of the show. This is about the show itself is greater than just single value. Okay, which is important. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute here. Okay, about our individual selves fitting in with the community. So we have over here, structure and order and law and government. And because, it's karma. Saturn is karma. What goes up comes down. You ran a red light, you get a ticket. You were going 5 over, you get a ticket. You go to court to fight that ticket. Rebelliousness, Uranus, rebelliousness. And, you might get some points dropped or you might get some leeway, but ultimately it's well, you broke the law and this is what happens, and that's the bottom line. Where Uranus and Aquarius, this is dealing with, no, forget this system. We don't need this order. We don't need this structure. We don't need this, it's like, it's a funny thing to jump on there for a second. Sometimes I'm sitting at red lights and thinking this robot is ruling and controlling my life. This robot machine here is dictating and determining my logical common sense that says, Aaron, you cannot go. You cannot drive past this light right now because this machine, which is order and structure, this is government, this is Capricorn, this is Saturn, is saying stop for your own safety. And it's taking away my human discernment, my ability to judge for myself, right? So this the rebelliousness in me says, I want to go. There's no cars on the road, right? And the only car on the road is the cop down the street with his lights off that sees you run that red light. Your Honor, there's nobody on the road. Well, son, you ran a red light. You must pay the price. We're gonna drop your points, but you gotta pay this fine. Are you kidding me? I'm losing my sense of humanity and my sense of logical, again, discernment, to a robot, to a machine, technology. Okay, so a good way to look at part of this is the punk rock band, right, that wants to sing a song about anarchy. For one, there's individuality. Okay, there's me, myself. I'm the singer. I'm the drummer, actually. I'm the drummer of this band. All right, and I got to find a singer and a guitar player and a bassist, whatever. All right, so we got a little 4-piece going on here, and we got to get together. Self gets together with a larger group, okay, community, and we want to sing songs and organize. This is the paradox. We want to organize songs about unorganizing the organized. Okay, so we're going to see this in a lot of different branches in our government and in our community, of disassembling what has been assembled to reassemble it. This is also dealing with the Saturn squaring Uranus that we're going to be dealing with more in 2021 than we are right now this year. We're only getting a taste of it, but Saturn square Uranus is a very difficult aspect because Saturn is the immovable wall and Uranus is the unstoppable force. Okay, what happens when you have an immovable wall and an unstoppable force? Conflict. Okay, we're going to see conflict. And Uranus being down there in Taurus, the fixed sign, where it's at its detriment, it's a weaker spot in the zodiac for Uranus to be, we're going to see a lot of conflict, okay? So we have these songs coming up, right? We got to create our songs. We got to go out in the community to sing our songs about rebelliousness. We got to go sing our songs about anarchy, about the lack of government, how we want to, take it upon our own human free will to go beyond this light, what this robot is telling me to do. The order, the law, the structure, right? Now, part of this paradox is that for that band to play this music in a crowd, in a community, to hopefully receive a buck or two to live in society, which is ruled by Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn society, all right? We have to have running water in the bar, in the venue that they're playing at, so that people can wash their hands, flush the toilet, so the bartender can pour a drink. They're going to need the electricity, the running lights. They're going to need a structure itself, right, to be able to play this. They're going to need a stage in order to play this, something that is a structurally sound and safe. They're going to need their instruments to be in tune and with fine precision, okay? Saturn is about perfection, fine precision. If the whole band's off key, if the instruments are untuned, will that message be relayed and heard clearly? No, right? So we're fighting structure and order. We're fighting structure and order, breaking apart to restructure and order while also utilizing the structure and order that already exists. It's very paradoxical. Again, we're going to see a lot of this stuff popping up and creating this conflict as the year into 2020, well into 2020 continues, okay? Now, another part of this is self-identity, okay? Because, again, Saturn deals with self, deals with my personal identity. Who am I to the world? This is, 10 rules, 10th house. Who am I? How does society view an aaroneschenburg? How does society view? And here's another thing. We're going to be dealing with judgment, right? What does an astrologer look like? What does an astrologer talk like? What does a shaman look like? What does a yogi look like? What does a businessman look like? What does a businesswoman look like? What does, and we're going to want to fit in, okay? So we can be losing ourselves. We can lose our self-identity by wanting to fit into the community, fit into the crowd. This can be a very serious issue that's going to be going on, until 2023. So, this little teeter-totter, this TikTok that Saturn's doing right now, it's like, I'm going to give you a glimpse of Aquarius and this need to go out, this need to be in community, this need to forge together as a whole, as a forge, to create something greater than self, right? To be visionaries, to create something long lasting that lasts beyond your lifetime, okay? And where Mars is meeting up at 0 degrees where Jupiter is going to meet up in December at 0 degrees with Saturn. That's exactly what that's about. And I'll talk more about it in the daily videos. You know, if you stay tuned to those, we'll talk about it much more in depth in the daily videos. But it's just about making something greater than oneself that lasts beyond my lifetime. Okay, we're not making something just now generationally that's going to only help me out, you know, while I'm alive on this rock. It's like, no, we want to create something that's going to last beyond my life, beyond my kids. You know, we want to create something that really, really lasts. So that's going to be interesting aspects. Again, happens at the very end of this month of March, as well as in December of 2020. Okay. So about losing ourselves in individuality. Okay. This is part of that TikTok. Saturn moving forward into Aquarius, getting a glimpse, saying, form your community, form the structures, be a part of something, have a vision for the future, use technology, you know, structuralize technology to use this for human advancement. Okay. And by doing part of this, seeking community, because we're on the opposite side of emotions and self, Cancer and Leo. So by seeking community, we can be losing sight of who we are as individuals. We're going to want to look the way a yogi looks, look the way a shaman would look the way a business person would look, you know, how does one look? It doesn't, you know, it's just, you just are. And that's something that's extremely important to remember moving forward during this time, is really just respecting yourself, respecting your identity, respecting you as an individual, that you don't want to look like everybody else. You don't want to fall into everybody else. I've got this picture pulled up here I want to show you. It's a picture by Alex Gray called The Journey of the Wounded Healer. Okay. If you've ever seen this, Alex Gray is a brilliant artist. So where we are right now, okay, this Neptunian age, okay, we're losing sight of self. Not Neptunian age, I mean Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Neptune home in Pisces right now. There's a sense of escapism, right? We're escaping through technology, part of this Aquarius thing as well. We're escaping through the use of, you know, there's an opioid epidemic going on right now, right? We're escaping reality. We're getting so high on vape pens and whatever else that we're losing sight of our emotions. We're losing sight of who we are and what's going on in the physical world directly in front of us, okay? To a point where we're going to start to feel pulled apart when Saturn really, really gets into the age of Aquarius, which is, you know, this year, but really coming in 2021, right? So we're going to be pulled in these different directions. Okay, pulled in these different directions. How do I fit in? Where do I fit in? Where am I as an individual? I don't feel like an individual. I feel like I'm part of this group and part of this group and part of this, to where we're literally feeling like we're just like this image, ripped apart. Okay, and the goal here is to maintain our authenticity, to maintain our truth, to hold on to whatever it is in our hearts, in our heads, you know, that is that pillar of light. Okay, we want to maintain our own authenticity as who we are while joining groups. We don't have to act like, we don't have to look like just because they are or they do, you know. It's extremely important going through this 3-year process that we hold on to that, as well as relationships, okay? Because we're dealing with the signs furthest away from heart, furthest away from you know, love, you know, romantic love, the sign of Leo, dealing with romantic love, not partnerships, that would be Libra. But we could be chasing relationships because of status quo, okay? We could be getting into relationships and working our way up, not in a safe and healthy kind of way to go about it, okay? So it's something we want to pay attention to ourselves, again, maintaining our authenticity. So this is part of the lesson of the past 16 months. When I'm putting this out right now is in March of 2020. So the past 16 months of the North Node being in the sign of Cancer, right? Authenticity, reminding ourselves of our authenticity, reminding ourselves of our care and nurturing abilities. We don't want to be disconnected from our emotions or disconnected from our love and chasing the idea or concept of what love should look like. Okay, and there's an important lesson here as well in using technology through finding love, using technology. And part of this authenticity is to be the kiss, is to be love, right? It's not a performance, it's not an act, it's to be, truly be that love, and what you seek is seeking you as well, right? And if it's easier just to recognize, where are we in the sense of relationships, in hookup culture? And is it easier to hook up with or kiss or say I love you to someone than it is to give them your Facebook or Instagram or email password or your WhatsApp password? Where is the balance? Okay, because we are moving into an air sign, which is going to trine Libra, which is going to trine Gemini. Trine Libra, trine Gemini from your side, right? So we want to balance our relationships. And where is the balance of technology within our relationships with other people? And again, is it easier for us to say I love you, or to further those feelings of love, but not have the trust and authentic communication that goes along with it? Is there something to hide? Hopefully not, right? So these are some things that we're going to be dealing with, that are going to arise during this age. Now, again, we're dealing with technology. One other point I want to bring up here, I want to wrap this up here shortly, but one other point I want to bring up is because we are solidifying the age of Aquarius, because we are solidifying this dawn of digital technology, this age of technology, okay? This is the humanitarian. Now, although it's alien technology, that infrared technology, right? That ultraviolet above, infrared below. Although it's right. So Saturn is the law. Saturn is the physical reality. Uranus, Aquarius breaks free of that physical reality. Neptune is the oneness. Okay, so Uranus and Aquarius is the break from this brick wall, this unmovable wall of reality. Again, what's structurally safe. My flesh, my skin has to be intact. This sounds silly, but at the same time, it's just like there's pressure. There's a compression going on here. There's a buildup of atoms and of electrons, so that when my this hand touches this one, these don't fuse together. Okay, this is the laws of our reality. We're not talking about just laws like don't pass go, did not collect $200. We're talking about the laws of physical reality, right? So now we're with this breakthrough, this age of technology, and we're utilizing technology. It's very easy, once again, to find any information out just about that you're seeking, right? With very few steps in the process to find that information out. And what we don't want to see, is what we can easily fall into and head into, is a place of utilizing technology where it takes over the humanitarian. Okay, so here in astrology, we've got Aquarius, so the fixed cross, okay, which you see on a lot of, we'll get into the theology later on. The humanitarian, okay, the human, Aquarius the water bearer, the bull, Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, and the snake, which is represented by Scorpio, okay? So this is the fixed cross, the fixed signs, okay? So this is the humanitarian, the water bearer, and although it's dealing with technology, we're still dealing with humanity, okay? So there's another issue that I want to bring up that can be something that just to look at and how we're dealing with this. There's a thing called mukbang, all right? It's pretty famous in South Korea right now. That individuals, because they're eating alone, what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to use their cell phone, and they're broadcasting someone is eating while someone else is watching them eat. Okay, this is a way to feel together, a way to feel, within the community, or that you're actually having dinner with this individual. Okay, a sense of fitting in, sense of belonging. Okay, we're going to be seeking that sense of belonging, a sense of fitting in, a yearning for that over the next 3 years. Okay, again, maintaining our own peace, our own individuality. So while dealing with this, so this mukbang, one of these things that I had seen, I'm sure you can find it quite easily on the internet here. These like 20 young lads, 20 young lads had the ability to, or the opportunity to meet their favorite mukbang star. Okay, so this very attractive Korean woman and these young Korean men. Okay, so they had the opportunity to meet her and go actually have a real meal. This might have been Vice. I have no idea actually who put this out. Might have been. All right, to go eat a real meal with this person. Okay, so they're sitting at this big like Bavarian style table, this long table, long benches, so they're all together on this, this one kind of table thing. And what's happening is the girl is got the meal in front of her. She has to do her live broadcast of her eating, so she's live broadcasting, and all the guys are watching her live broadcast instead of recognizing the woman sitting in front of them right now, this other individual they have dinner with, or even as sharing conversations with the people next to them that they have a common interest with. Okay, so this is an issue. This is an issue just like pornography, okay, where there's some sort of mental stimulation through video that we're not getting when we have the real thing directly in front of us. Okay, so this is something that's very serious, that's some sort of, we're conditioning our brains this way, in an unhealthy way, to using these devices, these dopamine hits, and thinking that this is how, I'm receiving this human interaction, this human connection. Okay, so it's very, very important going into this age over the next 3 years, again, that we maintain our sense of humanity, our sense of relationships, of authentic relationships. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is huge. This is really exciting. Like, aside from that, this is really, really, really exciting times that I'm excited to share with you, that we're entering this age together, that we chose as individuals to come to this planet during this time to be a part of to bring this age of Aquarius to life. And what we want to do, where Mars is meeting up with Saturn, where Jupiter is meeting up with Saturn, what we want to do here is leave something good for the next age to come, for the next 2,150 years. You know what I mean? We don't want to confuse this. We want to be authentic as possible, and we want to leave something behind that we can be proud of, right? And utilizing this technology in a way to create great change. This is how I'm gonna end this here in a second, but like, look at the automobile industry, okay? Look, it's taken millions of years, billions of years to create the Earth's fossil fuels. All right. And within little over 100 years, we've used up over half of those fossil fuels in the automobiles that we're driving around today. Okay. Breakthrough needed to happen through technology. We can look at Tesla. We can look at other companies like this that are creating something groundbreaking, something crazy, right? We can look at Bitcoin. Change of money is certainly going to happen. Something getting away from analog. It's breakthrough kind of crazy. Something like this is going to happen with our money. But we're going to rattle cages. We're going to we're going to shake things up in this age, singing these songs of rebelliousness, because we have to. This rebelliousness is a new order that's got to come way to create a sustainable lifestyle for humanity for the future. Right? The big three are certainly, I'm in here in Detroit, the big three are certainly going to be concerned with companies that are creating these autonomous vehicles and these electric cars, things like that. But it's like we have to get away from fuel. We have to get away from the oil industry as we know it, because it's not sustainable, right? The dollar, how it's working, we have to get away. Banks are closing. There's all kinds of things that are very normal right now that over the next 3 years and 7 years or 6.5 now, that with Uranus and Taurus, that are going to absolutely change. And Uranus moving in through this digital technological age is going to help blow the top off of this stuff. And we're going to see, if you look at a chart grid of technology from like the 80s, it just went brrrr, it's like this line here, and then it just goes right? It makes that sound too. And that's what we're going to be doing. This spike is just going to go through the roof, and we are going to shake things up, and the radicals are going to be the ones that are forging and moving ahead and creating good lives. You know, if we're holding on to for dear life of the old, of the past, of the old tradition, of the old ways of doing things, we are going to be in for a terrible, terrible surprise, a hard and much more difficult time. You know, so we have to be willing to go into this expecting great change, and to know that it's going to hit the fan. You know, things are going to change. I mean, that's, you know, and it's for a good thing. So when we see that stuff coming, use your talents, use your skills to maneuver, to try to not fit in to be like what everybody else is doing, but to utilize these new technologies to advance yourself, to advance your community, your friends, your family, whatever it is. You know, it's like you're the last person writing letters while everyone's on email. You know, letters are actually really nice to receive every now and then. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like we gotta come up to using this technology to benefit us, not take over our lives, but to benefit us in a natural and healthy way. So, it's coming. Happy Age of Aquarius, my friends. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you're new to the channel, check it out. We've got daily videos every single day, talking deeper and deeper into these aspects. Thank you. Appreciate you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.